It's going to take a little while for everybody to get in here, but this is breaking news. Daniel Bryan is basically cleared to return to WWE. This is coming from WWE's Twitter account. Why it's not on their website yet and other places, I don't know. But WWE has said that Daniel Bryan is cleared to return to WWE. Medically cleared, they said. They used the words medically cleared, which blows my mind right off the bat. I know we're going to wait for people to get in here live. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you sub down below for more news in our podcast throughout the week. Real quick off the bat, Jake DeMarco is going to be here because we were about to record something different, not wrestling, and this just happened, so I had to go live. But meanwhile, I had also asked Dave Rose to be here with me. I reached out to Dave. I caught him on a lunch break or something, and he agreed to be here, so he's going to suffer through a little bit of this wrestling talk because he hasn't been watching the product as much recently. But funny enough, the last time we spoke about Daniel Bryan having to retire, Dave was here with, I think it was me, Dave, and Jake that were here, and now here we are again. And this blows my mind. One of the reasons why I said that you just won't see this guy return, and I wish now I could remember the couple of sources that said that he was going to return, those people. I wish I could remember them right now because I would be giving them all the credit in the world.
Adam Ant was one of them.
Adam Ant.
He said it like 3 months back.
It was me. Dave, I never thought he would come back because on film on ESPN, he said he was having seizures and shit.
That's true, and I actually, it's funny because to bring it all back together again, when we last spoke about this, we discussed specifically that not only was he indicating that he wasn't medically fit, the staff was indicating that he wasn't medically fit. So although there's wishful thinking of individuals who would say, well, he is going to be able to wrestle again, or he's still capable of wrestling again, it took this amount of time, which is close to a year, for him to be so good that the WWE actually tweeted this out. And I'm looking at the tweet right now, and I want to thank Broken Matthew at Broken Matthew on Twitter, because he tweeted this. I saw it and I did like it. And again, that's how Joe asked me to talk about some of this stuff, but they said, breaking, SmackDown Live general manager Daniel Bryan has been medically cleared to return to in-ring competition. So for someone like me who hasn't been watching the product for quite a few months, probably a little more than the time that Daniel Bryan has not been able to compete, it is quite interesting actually, and sort of does entice me to have interest in watching the product again.
This is pretty amazing. I mean, really, it's amazing shit.
It's astounding. I mean, you think back too. Bree just posted not long ago about him still having seizures and medical issues, and then I know Total Divas is like 6 months out, but they were even talking about it on episodes there.
Yeah, and
so
with,
I mean,
and with
it
what
wasn't
they did
that long ago.
Well, with what they did with Corey Graves, I mean, it really leads you to believe that they're not joking around. I'm deeply, very shocked that this is actually happening. I will say that this is the second time I've been shocked in my life as far as someone returning to WWE. There's only been 2 times where I was I could not believe what I'm reading right now. The first time was Shawn Michaels' return. I couldn't believe I was seeing him compete at SummerSlam against Triple H in that match. And this will be another time, although most likely we're going to get Bryan teaming with Shane to take on Sami and Kevin. That would appear to be the match, because what else is there for him now? If this guy
that makes the feud that much more legitimized. I mean, you and I know myself especially, haven't given 2 craps about this feud because there was no real payoff with Bryan not being able to be physically a part of it.
Right.
That was our biggest issue. It's like, okay, they keep going, they're doing all these things, but what's the point? There was nothing to look forward to. If Bryan, Shane was going to have to find a partner or have someone represent, Bryan, it just wasn't worth getting invested in. This changes the dynamic. SmackDown is going to have the biggest viewership it's had probably all year.
Yeah, this is something that nobody saw coming, I don't really think. I mean, some people did. A lot of people were talking about him coming back and stuff, and it was almost laughable to me because, again, I just can't get past the fact that he's documented on television saying, I was passing out, I was having seizures, I was having issues, and Corey Graves can't wrestle anymore, but Daniel Bryan can't wrestle anymore. I assume it's a huge risk, but I'll tell you what, if Daniel Bryan's coming back full-time and he's going to wrestle people, you need to make Roman Reigns heel and put these guys against each other. You will make money.
That sounds good.
If Reigns is heel and he's really cutting into the fans, and Daniel Bryan can wrestle, like that's it.
Now, I have a question for both of you, since I haven't been watching the product in such a long time. And you guys seem to be much more aware of this. With these appearances on Total Divas and all these Total Bellas, whatever, all these shows, all this discussion, he, and at least the last time we talked, was of a very fighting spirit. He said, even if I'm not cleared, I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep trying to get approved and so forth. And it seemed like he was very tenacious. And despite the fact that he got shot down a few times, like although he was trying to prove himself capable, he sort of relegated himself to say, to officially accepting that he can't compete.
Right.
But what I'm wondering is, and I doubt that the reality TV shows have been showing anything like this, but is it possible that he's been training and sort of like getting treatment to return him to the ring?
Yes, we know that he definitely has been. He's been like working out hardcore and shit. Like he's been doing lots of stuff. And he's
one of the things, Joe, that he's been doing that I didn't even know of, but since last year, he's had up to this day 50 hyperbaric treatments. There's a few different studies here that say that hyperbaric treatments and concussions and TBIs have great, prolonged increases in functionality in the body, and return back to like an original state before the injury.
Wait a minute, are you talking about like a hyperbolic chamber or something like that?
Yeah, hyperbaric chamber. It's oxygen therapy for post-concussion symptoms.
Jesus.
I did not hear about this beforehand, but it says right here, Daniel Bryan's rehabilitation also supported reports of successful in-ring return due to hyperbaric treatments that he started a year ago. He was told he would gradually feel better after the completion of 50 sessions. So he's gone through over 50 treatments.
So what is it specifically that he's suffering from, or that he has injury from? So it's concussions apparently, but wasn't it that his neck had sustained sufficient damage that it would potentially cause further injury with wrestling?
That's when I was.
We never got.
We never had like full confirmation.
Yeah, dude, we never really got a medical diagnosis other than like, that he was short of breath sometimes. He had tingling in his arm, and that he had these sort of seizures sort of moments. And so that's really it. It was really vague, not a very clear medical diagnosis given. Courtney Summers.
That seems to fit more with a concussion than it would with, say, nerve ending damage from, say, some sort of disc slip or something else in the spine and neck. So maybe they just haven't revealed the full extent of what he had experienced.
Right.
But I do find it curious that they're now sort of like what Jake is referring to, is revealing what treatments he went through, although not identifying what it was that he was dealing with, and still stating that it was that he saw an improvement in himself. So I wish him all the best. I don't want him to get hurt at all. I would love that his passion, get returned to him, considering he was forced out of it so early in his career. But, I just hope he stays safe.
Daniel,
absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm looking into this here, and the only thing I see treatment for hyperbaric, chambers and treatments is for concussion syndromes and TBIs. So, any type of traumatic brain injury, concussion syndrome. That's all I'm seeing here.
I can tell you when I had mine for 6 or 7 months, and Dave probably remembers this because it was, I was in a weird situation. Courtney Summers, thanks for the donation. We got Johnny Ray Sinister's donating too.
Greatest day ever.
It is the greatest day ever. Says Johnny Ray Sinister. We're on here with Devious Dave Rose, who I asked to come on the show, by the way. I begged Dave Rose to come on and do the show with us earlier. I messaged him.
Well, you didn't beg. You just asked, and I was around, and I said, why not?
No, I begged you. I said, remember I said, no. No, I really didn't. I didn't beg him, but I did ask him. And he caught us during a lunch break or something, so thank you for that, Dave. Daniel Bryan trending worldwide. Yes. WWE is tweeting this out as we speak. This is monumental shit. You know what I mean?
This is huge. This makes WrestleMania
Twitter's actually blowing
watch.
up right now from what I'm seeing.
Can I tell you, Dave, too? I thought to myself, when I texted you a few minutes ago, I said to myself in the back of my head, I said, I waited to text you to ask you to do a show with me about something else, because I said in my own head, I'm not wasting Dave's time. If I'm doing something and I want him to do something with me, I'm got to make sure I'm free and nothing is going to interrupt it whatsoever. Fucking as soon as I log into Skype, I see this, and I just went like, "Oh my god!" What the fuck?
Yeah, I sat down with you, and literally as soon as you go to go and get everything started, that's when you get all this news. It's incredible the way that works.
It's like fate or something that we're sitting here. I mean, not that like again, I know it's weird because again, Dave doesn't even watch too much anymore. But he's been keeping up a little bit. He saw the deletion the other day. WWE has such a double standard though. That's why it's so confusing to know what's going on. Look at the Apollo Crews, right? His name was just changed to Apollo because of the shooter in Florida. Well, the shooter today was what is his name? Austin. Austin Wyatt.
I've got to jump in there. I'm sorry. I haven't watched in a long time. I thought Apollo Crews was cool. I didn't like the way that he was going in, whatever. But the name's cool. It works. But they changed his name because of the shooter. And let me remind you, Apollo Crews, he's black as night.
Right.
And Cruz is a Latino or Hispanic name. So associating that with the shooter who was Hispanic,
right,
to me is just the ultimate form of capitulation. I mean, the WWE was always better when it didn't give a shit about political correctness. And yet when they're doing this sort of thing, I mean, again, from someone who hasn't watched in a long time, it doesn't make me want to watch.
No, it's stupid. There was just no need ever for them to bring it up, and they did. And Null Death, thanks for the $5. This is incredible. Bryan is back. Null Death is freaking out. But it's so ridiculous because now you've opened up the can of worms. Because now the shooter today, whose name, by the way, is Austin Wyatt Rollins. His fucking I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up.
No.
I said
no.
I'm not kidding. I know it's not funny. Somebody was killed and it was a school shooting, but I'm telling you, dude, I said
I've got to look this up.
I said
Austin.
I said
Wyatt
when Apollo
Rollins.
Crews
I just checked it. I was like, no.
I said when Apollo Crews got his name changed, I go, so WWE just set the precedent. When there's a shooting on TV and somebody did something bad, they're going to change the superstar's name because of it. They changed Crews. We know it was because of that. It became Apollo. And now there's a shooting and the guy's name is what is it?
Austin Wyatt Rollins.
Austin Wyatt Rollins.
So now we have Stone Cold Steve.
I gotta look.
We have Bray and we've got Seth.
It's not a joke. It's for real.
No way. No. Oh my God.
See, I also heard that Apollo Crews had his name changed because people were calling him Apollo Creed, and they wanted to get rid of that, so they shortened it to just Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it came at the time, days after the unfortunate Florida shooting. So I mean,
I think maybe that was the thing that finally pushed it over the cliff because you know, I've been saying that too, that it's kind of confusing. But you know, they never did it the whole time he's in NXT. They never did it for 6 months he was in the main roster. I mean, they did the same thing with Elias. That's the only they did do that with him. But come on. So
they shorten everybody's name.
They won't do anything with this.
Cesaro,
Anyway, I'm nothing but happy. Again,
I'm ecstatic. I'm reading a lot here.
Confused.
Daniel Bryan was cleared by Dr. Robert Cantu, Dr. Javier Cardenas, Dr. Jeffrey Kutcher. These are leading neurosurgeons, neurologists, and concussion experts. Then Bryan underwent a full review of his medical history and received comprehensive neurological and physical evaluations independent of WWE. He was cleared by each doctor. Then he was just recently cleared by WWE's medical doctor, Dr. Joseph Maroon. Mm-hmm. So after enjoying numerous championship runs, we're finally getting the Yes Movement to come back since he had to retire in February of 2016. So it's been almost a full, over 2 years at this point, actually. And, I guess he's having to change his style, they're saying in one of the reports, that he's going to have to adapt a little bit and change a few of his movesets, which is fine. Get rid of the dives outside of the ring, things like that. But just the fact that he's back, even if he can only do it in a lesser extent, even in tag form, he's still back. I never saw this. I couldn't fathom it. I did not see him returning. I all but gave up on the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Shane McMahon angle because Daniel Bryan was involved in it, and I never thought we'd get that payoff.
Yeah, and they're not even doing that. So that's the weird thing.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. We're going to see what happens tonight with SmackDown, but it's going to be must watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is going to be, and this is right. This is right before SmackDown tonight, so this is going to be wild tonight. This is going to be this is brilliant of them, by the way. But it's so crazy. But yeah, Dave, what anything else, Dave, you wanted to say about this, and then I'll move on real quick, and we'll get the last thing in here.
Well, it's definitely something that would intrigue me to start watching again. Again, the way that Daniel Bryan went out never satisfied anybody, and he always had a lot more in him. So to see that hopefully he is actually medically able to do this fills me with interest, and I would love to see him at WrestleMania, for example. That would be something that would actually have me be willing to watch the pay-per-view in its 7-hour entirety or whatever.
8 hours.
8 hours this year. Damn it.
I think isn't it 8 hours, Jake, in 15 matches?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh
I mean,
God.
honestly,
eventually it's going to be a full day. It's going to be like the Olympics.
Well, I mean, they've already spread it apart with multiple days with NXT and all that. I bet you it's going to carry over. They're going to have like a pre-WrestleMania night, then they're going to have their actual night, and it's a bit ridiculous. Well, like I said, it feels like they're just, cramming everybody on. I know everybody wants that WrestleMania payday, but is there even going to be anything left to pay anybody at that point if they get everybody on the show?
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is trying to squeeze all these people in is kind of ridiculous. But, dude, this is a day I never thought was going to come. Again, similar to Shawn Michaels, didn't think that was going to happen. It was 4 years of no Shawn Michaels. 4 years. I was convinced it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't one of those like, everyone always comes back. It wasn't like that. We thought his back was actually injured. I didn't really know some of that backstory at the time. It was still a little bit, kayfabe to me. So, that was surprising. This is very surprising after the admissions that he's had and the situations. Like, I just can't believe it. I mean, this is only because of his.
You know what it is? He switched off that damn vegan diet.
He started eating meat.
Back to eating meat.
Started eating meat, and all of a sudden his proteins started going to his brain, creating new electrons.
I mean, Daniel Bryan's trending #1 worldwide. I mean, that says it right there. People
took the soy out of his diet.
Yeah, he got rid of the tofu.
This is your #1 superstar that wasn't here. This is the guy that isn't as good as, isn't as big as The Rock, isn't as big as Stone Cold, but he's right up there behind that. He's like even maybe higher level than Bret Hart in his heyday.
This is the guy that should have been bigger than he was.
Yes.
Period.
And
yeah, I think that's the problem, because we got robbed for so long. When we did have him, they didn't utilize him. They didn't use him enough, and he was held back. And then all of a sudden, we start to see him get his chance to shine, and he's taken from us. We no longer have, Daniel Bryan in our roster, and it was heartbreaking. So
if you turn Roman Reigns heel and you do a promo with Roman Reigns, it's too bad what they're doing with Vince and Brock Lesnar and stuff like that. Because if you turn Roman Reigns heel right now and you have Daniel Bryan versus Reigns, you will have, you will sell tickets. I am telling you right now. Problem is, I feel like they're gonna kind of make Daniel Bryan be this side show thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's never gonna be the top guy again. They're gonna keep him at this level. I'm worried about them doing that if he does come back. And it's just a way for them to book him every 3 months or something and keep him here that instead, so he doesn't go to Ring of Honor or somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Are you a little bit concerned about that? Because I kind of am a little bit. We got a mixed tag match at WrestleMania. Then he might not wrestle again for like 3 months. That type of thing.
Yeah, with that limited, changing his moveset and whatnot and everything that I'm reading, we'll see what kind of activity he can get into. But people are going nuts. I mean, Nakamura just tweeted, "This is great news. No one needs to wish anymore. They can see it with their eyes."
Don't doubt the American Dragon.
Nakamura versus Bryan is Nakamura's hashtag. So,
all right, well,
that would be incredible to see those two go at it next year at WrestleMania. The possibilities are endless. We have to see what he can actually do, though. Like you said, how much will they utilize him at this point? Are they going to be afraid to have him wrestle?
Yeah.
When he came back from injury the first time after having to give up the WWE Championship then, and he had the IC title run, it didn't go well at that point. He had many issues and it just wasn't ready to return. So are they going to have fears with him now that they did then? I mean, he got in the ring, he got kicked by Sheamus, and maybe they just don't have him work with Sheamus. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I would assume they're going to be pretty careful with what they do with him. regardless of whatever. So I'm sure they're going to be careful. There's so much to talk about with it, and I don't know. Again, I think that's my only worry is we'll see now what they do. Is it going to be what we think, or is it going to be him just coming back like for 4 matches a year? You know what I mean? Like, and that way they can keep him from going other places, but technically they can safely have him wrestle. And anything is amazing. So I will say that having him being able to do anything is pretty damn amazing. Let me see some of these. We got just a couple donations. We'll get them in here, and then we'll get out of here to do our other stuff.
Chat party.
Let's see what we got. We got
greatest day ever.
Greatest day ever, says Johnny Ray Sinister. Yeah, I did see that pop up earlier, but I replayed it again for you, Johnny. Johnny, thanks,
Rusev
man.
Day.
Yeah, it's like Rusev Day. Yeah, it's amazing. It's Rusev Day. He'll be the next to go because of his little gimmick getting over there. Speaking of Rusev Day. Rusev Day will be on the indie scene at some point soon because of this stuff. Guys, if you guys want, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to be here live tonight reacting to SmackDown like I always do. Every Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, every WWE event. We'll be live after tonight.
Chat party.
No death.
I'm at work, but holy shit. This is absolutely insane. Daniel Bryan, yes.
No death, $5. He's at work and he's freaking out at work. Lots of people at work right now hearing this news at work or somewhere like that. So this is crazy news. Thank you, No Death, for the $5. We got a couple more coming in. We'll let you guys react. And then when we get done, we're going to go record our podcast about some other stuff. We get the school shooting stuff, the bombing, some other things going on in the world, social justice stuff that we want to talk about. And it's going to be up on Corrupted.
Party.
Happy and sad. Hope WWE stands solid and isn't just doing this temporarily to try to keep Daniel from going to another place.
Hey, Beef Roller 1, I am concerned a little bit about that, Beef, because remember, Daniel was making it seem like, fine, I'm out of here. I'm going to go wrestle. He was tweeting that out publicly. Like, nope, I'm going to go wrestle somewhere else. And then you were kind of worried that they were going to offer him so much money that he stayed in like in a suit role. That's what you were worried about. He was going to get offered so much money. But he was kind of making it clear that he wasn't going to stay, even for a lot of money. Faizan Ahmed, thank you very much for subbing to the channel. Hit that sub button down below. Hit the bell, too, so you get all the notifications. But instead, he does sign. So, I mean, there's a little bit of cynicism in my head and a little bit of skepticism. And I know that everyone's always going to be like, oh, you should always be happy. I mean, I am. I'm blown away by this. This is awesome. I love Daniel Bryan. I love this news. This makes everything so much more interesting. But there is that little bit of darkness in your brain that wonders about motivation when this guy already was cleared. Yeah, I mean, you can't help but think about it.
I'm so excited right now. I'm thinking about it. Last year when we saw everything with The Miz and Daniel Bryan, I mean, oh my God, we can get that.
Maybe.
The true face of the company returns. Yes.
Yeah, man of 1,005 holds calling him the true face of the company. He was. And I know there's like 15 or 20% of the audience that doesn't like Bryan. I hear people say, I don't get it and stuff like that. But, there's definitely a whole lot more people that don't like Roman. I mean, if you can't understand when this guy comes out, recently the pops for Bryan have been louder than anybody else on the show when he comes out to open the show to say some dumb thing on the mic. So to this day, you still can't deny that.
Super chat party.
Serious oh shit.
The American Dragon is back. Oh, hell,
Exactly, the American
why?
Dragon is back.
Hell yeah.
Now, remember, I was still watching wrestling at this point, but when Daniel Bryan announced his retirement, at least on that episode, the audience was just so overwhelmingly for him and supportive. And you saw that on social media afterwards. It was something that people didn't want to see, but they were very supportive. I mean, nobody wanted to see that. And I think that is probably still ingrained in the audience. Again, I'm still a little out of it, but someone like me, for example, always thought there was unfinished business. And if this guy could potentially get back into fighting, condition, it would be, definitely an incentive to, start watching the program again and start, supporting someone that you always knew was capable of much more than the opportunity that he was given.
Well, you know who needed this guy to come back is Roman Reigns. because Roman Reigns has basically sort of been blamed for everything. And because Daniel Bryan couldn't win a Rumble, he couldn't come back and do things, and it was Roman was over, and always Roman was pushed, and Daniel was pushed back. People saw it as Roman's the reason, that they screwed over Bryan a whole bunch. So he's never can redeem himself from that because Daniel's not around to face him. They can't have a match, and the fans can't get over it because they can't have some kind of match together and do a feud. So it's always going to be the fans are booing Roman because of that. So that's a huge thing. If he can come back and actually have matches with Roman, I mean, that's who I'm thinking about more than anything. Now, we got a couple more to play, a couple more donations to play, and then we'll be out of here. Guys, leave your comments. We're all reacting to this. Click the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Don't miss out on the review tonight. But real quick, I want to put them on for just a couple seconds here. Tommy, you got a few seconds because we're so strapped for time. What do you think Daniel Bryan is back in the WWE?
I think definitely that he could come back. But, I would love to see him come back. Honestly, I would love to see him come back in action.
Tommy, he was cleared. He's wrestling.
Really?
The WWE tweeted out today that he's cleared.
I'm definitely, that makes me more excited because I love Daniel Bryan as a wrestler. Like, he is one of the best wrestlers in the WWE. I'm glad to see that Daniel's going to come back, and I wonder who would be his next match because he's definitely one of those guys that we love to watch and definitely one of those underdogs that deserves the win, the World Heavyweight Championship, and one of those guys that we want to see with that title instead of Roman Reigns. But, wait a minute.
Isn't Roman Reigns your favorite wrestler?
He is one of my favorites, yes. But,
all right.
I go back and forth. Daniel's my favorite. Roman's my favorite. So, I would honestly like to see Daniel back in the title card again. I want to see him that because he's one of those underdogs that you love as a champion that you always want to see if he's going to succeed. And that, he's one of those high flyer wrestlers that you love, honestly. Like,
oh, well, at least you're happy about it, Tommy. Well, I appreciate that you're happy about it. Tommy NC 2010. Tommy, thanks for calling in, chiming in on this. I'm sorry to let you go. We're just so strapped for time right now. I'm going to play some more of these so we can get out of here. Also want to remind you guys, the T-shirt's available on Teespring, or you can go to joecroninshow.net. Click on a T-shirt. It'll take you right to the T-shirt website, the Joe Cronin Show T-shirt site. Courtesy of Dave Rose is on the phone right now. He made a T-shirt. Says monetize this, Joe Cronin Show. It's pretty freaking cool. I think it's like one of the top 3 T-shirts that's available on there.
Knock that out of the park.
To be fair, that it's the logo I made, but you chose to put it on T-shirts and mugs and all stickers and all that other stuff. But I do have to say, being quite modest myself, it's probably one of the best designs I've made to date, and. Yeah, it looks fucking great on that T-shirt.
Very official looking. Looks fantastic.
You can get it on white too. It looks good on white. There's like a purple one I think is kind of cool. I like it.
I mean, monetize this has been going on since what, 2014?
Yeah,
2013.
2013. So that's 5 years. That's a long time. So anyone who wears that shirt, wear it with pride because you truly are a veteran. And
I appreciate the Dave. Dave didn't ask me to pay him money for a logo or anything like that. He just sent me the logos, said, here, you use it. I mean, if it goes viral.
I was smoking the wacky tobacco and feeling quite creative, so I decided to jump on Photoshop and have some fun. And that was the result.
I got to get on
that.
So
we got to do is get your creative juices flowing. That's awesome.
Here we go. Shout out to the new subs. Sebastian Jimenez, thank you for subbing. Michael Sachs Jr., Dylan Lane, Bobby Kays, Rob0079, Jeremy Scott, Smoky Water, XX, Med XX, The Dude Alliance, Utilt124. Thank you. And here's Call Me Luke.
Do you like steroids? Because I like steroids.
Oh, no.
I got steroids. You got steroids. I put the steroids in my veins. Put the steroids in my pain. Put the steroids in my brain. Then I fucking go insane. Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal. I put the needle in my balls. Needle in my balls. Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal.
Allegedly.
A fucking goddamn garbage truck.
Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, let's go. So beyond PYSCHED, holy shit.
Thank you, just call me Luke. Luke is marking out. Luke, thanks for the $19.99. We do got to get out of here, but let's just wrap it up real quick. And I know JIZZ is coming in with one, so if you guys want to hold those donations till tonight for SmackDown, that'd be cool. Just because we're strapped for time, but I really fucking God knows we need the I need the support. But
help.
I mean,
the theorist in me, Dave, I can't help but feel like everything we said before. Will they go ahead and did they clear Daniel just because they knew that he adamantly and directly told them that I'm going to wrestle when my contract's up. I was cleared outside of the company. I'm going to wrestle somewhere, anywhere. I don't care if it's in a backyard, in a bingo hall. I will wrestle again. So, do you think push came to shove and they just forced him to be cleared? Or I kind of, the theorist in me wonders if that's the case here. It just seems so out of, they were so just adamant about him not returning.
Yeah, they were so out of it. They were like, no, we're not doing it. And then all of a sudden now it's like, here you go.
It's been 2 years, a full 2 years. And they've held their ground, and they've had multiple chances to bring him back where it would have fit in. When he did the stuff with the Miz, when WrestleMania last year, and they just so I don't know.
Look at that big fat carrot top. Fuck Sam Roberts trying to go live like me. I don't think so, motherfucker. Fuck you. Go back to your satellite radio, you carrot top looking cocksucker. Sorry.
Even Seth Rollins tweeted out, "This may be a first in all of professional sports. So stoked for Bryan and what it could mean for head trauma research and rehabilitation in contact athletics."
That's weird.
And that's so true, because this is really a first of its kind where someone is this badly injured, forced to retire early, and is able to make a comeback.
I wonder if they're going to have him on some kind of special sort of monitoring system or check-in process, much like a cancer patient would have to go back to the doctor every 4 months or 6 months. Maybe, Bryan has to go through a test before he has every match or something. Like, it's weird. We don't know yet. There's so many questions that are going to come from this. It's incredible. Guys, you have your last chance right now. Subscribe down below. Don't miss out on my daily wrestling videos, my podcasts. We're live after every WWE show. We talk to you guys. I put up Morning Madness is available for patrons right now on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Go listen to my Morning Madness episode. Me, Jake, and Dave are about to record and talk about the bombing, the school stuff, and other things over on my other YouTube channel, youtube.com/Corrupted Podcast. That's where that will be uploaded to, plus on Patreon. So make sure you check that out. Thank you to Jake DeMarco. Thank you to Dave Rose for taking time out to come on after I hit him up earlier. He got right back to me, came on the show. Thanks for the t-shirt design. Here's JIZZ.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, JIZZ, a man who's actually really Native American. Elizabeth, are you listening? Thank you very much. JIZZ, let's hear Mr. Mammoth, and then we'll get out of here.
Everyone's saying he should be Braun's partner.
oh yeah, he could
Hey,
be.
Elizabeth Warren,
Got right back.
you're native at the 0% mark.
It sounds like it was she's like, my family, blah, blah, blah. Probably it was a lie your family told her, and she probably kind of believed it, maybe.
No, the best part was, are you willing to take a DNA test? Yes or no? Well, my family. Shut the hell up.
We could do a whole show on that.
Yeah,
I'm sure. And I kind of, and I'll tell you right now, I hate her and love her at the same time. There's some things I like and some things I hate. But Suffy K, thanks for subbing. What did fucking JIZZ say? Oh, it was Mr. Mammoth.
Yes.
Mr. Mammoth said, I love Daniel Bryan, huge Daniel Bryan mark, but I'm scared for him. And yeah, that's true. But again, I'm sure they're going to be I believe they'd be closely monitoring him, So
well, that's the thing. There's so much focus on WWE and the way that they allow their athletes to perform, that there's so much more restrictions on them than they would like. So if they're actually coming out and saying this, my logic seems to indicate that he's actually better than good.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
And that they were way cautious and they were waiting
Exactly.
I suppose Jake Tibbs, thanks for subbing to the channel. What's up, Jake?
That could be it, certainly.
Yeah, so, I mean,
the best tweet I've seen on all of this is, your sacrifice will not be forgotten. Bray Wyatt deleted himself so Daniel Bryan could wrestle again. We won't forget your actions. So Bray got deleted last night to bring Bryan back. That's
Bobby.
the reincarnation, you know.
Damn it, Bobby Hill just subscribed to the channel. Damn it, Bobby, thanks for subbing. Now, after you're done subbing, go buy some grade A propane. Now, Bobby subscribed. I'm trying to get to this donation from Mr. Mammoth so we can get out of here, but it's so many people are subbing to the channel right now. Jose Zuniga, thank you very much for subbing to the channel. That beer's making me hungry. We're going to talk about the school situation. We're going to talk about the bombings, the very weird shit going on in the world. Me and Jake will give our initial thoughts. Then Dave has a more deeper take. Jet, what's up? How you doing, man? Thanks for subbing. And by the way, my new Twitter, go follow me on Twitter. It's my new Twitter account, @RealCronin. It's @RealCronin. The SJWs took down the old one for the 4th time. I had my Twitter taken down. But I keep going, motherfucker, because you can't kill me, bitches.
I love Daniel Bryan.
Here it
Huge
is.
Daniel Bryan mark, but I'm scared for him.
I know, Mr. Mammoth, but I love you, bro. Thank you, Daniel, Mr. Mammoth, for becoming a $5 shitbum. Daniel Bryan is back. WWE has tweeted out he is medically cleared. The return of Daniel Bryan just in time for WrestleMania. Will he be Braun Strowman's partner, or will he be Shane McMahon's partner? I don't know what will happen. More on this. And tonight, SmackDown is going to be lit as fuck, bro. And I don't say that shit. But it might be tonight. It really might be. Because of this.
Thebomb.com.
Seriously. Thank you guys for subbing. Keep on subbing. There's a bunch of shit to go. We'll see you later tonight. We got to get out of here. I'm pressed for time, and that's why we got to go, and I appreciate you guys for being here. We'll see you later. Daniel Bryan is back. This is incredible news. Go back and watch our video announcing that he retired from about 2 years ago. It's amazing to see the contrast. Thanks for being here. My name is Joe Cronin. Devious Dave Rose on Twitter. And Jake DeMarco at Countdown Ended. Thank you all, and we'll see you tonight. If I can exit out of this screen.